Day 61. Rue and Kichi have gone hunting. They see 12 armed soldiers running through the wood and Gobrou decides to follow them. Using a bit of his spider thread, Rue is able to listen in. The humans are planning to kidnap the chief's daughter. Someone among the elves had tipped off the humans on when she'll be leaving the village. 2 hours later, and the chief's daughter is seen with her entourage coming up the road. Her guards are quickly dispatched by the humans and she is knocked out. Rue uses the opportunity to trap the humans and rescue the chief's daughter. Day 62. Rue has the humans that he captured tied up and he is questioning them back in the Goblin cave. He is told that the human army will be making their move in 20 days. Once he has provided all the information on the army's movements, Rue ate them and learns Secret Force, Vorpal Punisher, Hermit, Skill Ray, Contribute, Unlock, Release Trap, Sense Enemy, Improved Assassination, Hidden Weapon Mastery, Human Bane, Vorpal Strike, Aura Strike, Back Attack, Needle Shot, Throw, Severe Pain Resistance, Charm Resistance, and Assassination Resistance. Chief's daughter wakes up and in a panic her wings comes out. Rue notes that the other elves do not have wings like her. Still panicking and realizing her guards are nowhere to be seen, she thought that Rue was going to rob her of her chastity. After a while, she calms down, probably helped by the medicinal tea provided by the alchemist, which has a calming effect. Rue tells her what happens, and she thinks that it is awful that he kept quiet and let the humans kill her guards and knock her out. She starts beating his chest until he flicks her in the head. Rue tells her that the beef between the elves and the humans is none of his business. He also mentions that there is a traitor among the elves. When she starts crying, Rue tells the chief's daughter to rest up and that he will take her home tomorrow. Gobrou, hearing that there is a new female in the cave, is vibrating next to Rue again in anticipation of getting lucky, which is quickly denied. Day 63. Rue, Kichi, and the chief's daughter leave the cave to take the chief's daughter back to the elven village. On the way there, he asks her about her wings. She tells him that only high elves have the wings, which is normally held within their body. 3 hours later, they arrive in the village. Rue can feel over 25 archers in the trees aiming mithril arrowheads at them. They lower their weapons when the chief's daughter stands in front of them and tells them that they had saved her life. Allowed entry into the village, they go to see the village chief. He tells Rue and Kichi that they have his deepest gratitude for saving his daughter. Rue tells the chief that he didn't do it out of goodwill. The chief presents Rue with the Felnor, a bow of absolute accuracy, and an ancient class weapon that is a relic of lost gods as well as a family heirloom. Rue apologizes for testing them. To make up for it, he tells them the plans he learned from the humans he had taken captive. He was then provided tons of mithril weapons, and he had in turn provided them with spirit stone knives and magical item shovels. Before they leave, the chief tells them that a group of their elite fighters have been missing for nearly 20 days and asks if they had heard anything. Rue said that they hadn't. They also gave Rue some medicine and liquor made in their village. Rue tells them that if they need help, that they should let him know. Back at home, Rue is enjoying the elven wine. Day 64. Goblin had ranked up to a Damphir variant during the night. There was also 8 new hobgoblins among his people. Goblin is told not to take off her glasses unless it is around an enemy due to her being able to bewitch any that look into her eyes. She was blessed by the god of ice, which allows her to create large quantity of ice, as well as the evil eye that can cause enemies to fight amongst themselves. The blessings she received also offset the weakness that she would have had with sunlight. Rue is staring at Goblin. She looks familiar to him for some reason. Goblin had also ranked up and had evolved into a half-elf lord. She now has the ability to manipulate the ground, can pinpoint weak points in the bedrock, as well as had the ability to make her body stronger. Obsato had evolved into a half-bloody lord and can now control blood and make it into weapons. They all seem to have tattoos similar to Rue, but they have different designs. Now that they have all evolved, Gobrou gives them new names. Rue gives out a new set of communication earrings. When he gets to the elves, they tell him it's extremely taboo to decorate or let their ears be harmed. Rue doesn't care and took some time relieving them of that pretense. The elves and the kobolds now join in with the daily training. Later on in the day, Rue wants them to spar against the lesser skeletons that he can summon. However, his skeletons came out stronger than expected and even had armor. The more armor the skeleton has, the higher quality the skeleton. The elves with their mithril weapons had even lost most of the matches, but they weren't upset by the outcome. Day 65. Rue discovers that adjusting his mana allowed him to alter what he summoned. The various undead that he summoned made good opponents for practice and earning experience. He also discovers that sunlight is a weakness for the summoned undead and that they can only last a few seconds. Rue decides to focus on training the elves and kobolds. Rue's village now contains 100 residents. Day 66. They head for the cave where the kobolds live so they can collect their belongings and also so they can seal the entrance to Velvet's dungeon. The kobolds practice group hunting so that Rue can increase their number of Black Wolf familiars. They come across a stamp wall which Earthy wants to go against. One hit and it's down. When he gets back to the village, he finds an upgraded form of the axe that he used in his fight against the Red Bear. It's basically a new weapon with all of the changes. The blacksmith was able to rank up and is now an elemental smith thanks to all the spirit stones she has been handling. Day 67. Kichi approaches Rue and wants to talk in private. He tells Rue that he has had a crush on Earthy for a while now and that he wants to confess to her. Rue tells him that he knows and that Kichi hasn't been subtle. Kichi thinks that since Earthy evolved, she has gotten prettier and he can't hold back anymore. Rue tells him that he should confess that night, which Kichi does. Day 68. Rue and Kichi are sparring and Kichi feels light on his feet and seems to be getting in some good hits on Rue. Seems his confession went well. Rue expected that it would, as Dami had told him that Earthy had told her that she likes Kichi. Rue goes to the cave to make sure that Earthy is doing okay and is not hobbled. She is fine. After training, Rue and the original four went out hunting together. They found new monsters that provided Rue with the skills Molt, Row Elytron, End Edge, Silent Kill, Horn Blow, Dissonance, Parasitic, Jump Strength Up, Resilience, Exoskeleton Shell, Wrought Iron Shell Armor, Rising Battle Instinct, and Weakness to Cold. Rue tries out the exoskeleton and his body is covered in a durable armor that can repair itself and disperse impacts. Rue gets rid of the exoskeleton and realizes that the clothes he had on before had disappeared. The clothes have been equipped and he has 5 spaces left. Rue tests out some of the other skills that he learned. Eating the stamp boar stew later that night allowed Rue to learn the ability Rampage and Tail Attack. Day 69. Rue decides to spend the rest of the day crafting as it was raining outside. Red asks Rue to train with her. Blacksmith has been visiting the elves and discussing new weapon ideas with them. She creates a repeating crossbow which is quickly moved on to manufacturing. He helps his sisters in the kitchen and helps them recreate dishes from his old world. He visits the alchemist regarding manufacturing magical items. The bones from the black skeletons seems to be coming in handy. Day 70. There are elves at the entrance to the cave. They tell Rue that the human army is advancing in the Kudel woods. They have come there to ask for his assistance with dealing with the humans. They discuss the terms of the contract and Rue agrees. He gives the elf a communication device to give to the chief. Rue has a blood replication scout in the woods. He tells his village they will be a mercenary company known as Parabellum. That's it for today's recap on Monster. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and stay tuned for the next recap.